Hi guys, welcome back. So I would like to give an update on formula, specifically for my 3-month-old son, Mr. Dean. If you've been following me on Instagram, you see that I have been struggling. We have been trying to figure out what is wrong, which formula to go with. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. So being a second-time mom, my daughter is 20 months, I kind of felt like I had this whole formula thing figured out. So she was on the Similac Pro whatever. It's the blue one. It's like gray and blue. She took that at the hospital, and within 3 days of coming home, she literally just pooped her brains out. That's the only way to explain it. She pooped every single diaper. It was like, just poop. So I was like, something's not right here. So Angelo had bought all the little ready to feeds, my husband, because we thought we were gonna breastfeed. Breastfeeding didn't work out. So we are all in with formula on baby number 2. And I could say it's a blessing. Even though we had problems with Dean, it's still a blessing. So he had bought this one by accident because we were buying out all the ready to feed little 2-ounce ones. We switched her to this one when she was maybe 5 days old, and it was perfect. She took this right away, never had an issue with poop ever again. Took this until she was almost 13 months, I want to say, right after a year. So this was basically my gold, my liquid gold. This was what it was. This worked for us. So when I had Dean, I knew right away, I'm just gonna put him on this. You get it at Costco. It's super easy. It worked for Angelina. Well, this is what happened. We're in the hospital. The hospital did not have this formula. I special ordered this formula with the hospital because you're not allowed to bring your own formula because everywhere you go, they push breastfeeding so much, right? And I did not want to chance him on the regular version of this. I just wanted to put him on the sensitive one. So they had this one, Similac Pro Total Comfort, right? This little guy. Now the thing with this one is this one has easy to digest protein. I thought this one was basically the same as this one because you can go and look at hundreds of formulas and they all, one's for fussiness, one's for gas and fussiness. It's all confusing, right? So we had him on this for the first few days. He seemed fine. Once I ran out of it, we put on this one. Around his 1-month checkup, so he was 5 weeks old, he just, right after that checkup, diarrhea. Diarrhea, I'm telling you, every other day, he pooped every other day, which was normal for him. Every other day, liquid diarrhea. TMI, but we need to address what the situation was. He did spit up. The spit up was like very minimal, I would say, compared to the other formulas I'm going to get into. The spit up was really minimal. It's like he was spitting up, but Angelina used to spit up too, but he was just spitting up a little bit more. So I was like, okay, his body's adjusting, like everything is still changing. He's still a brand new baby. Fast forward to like now it's a month of like liquid diarrhea. So we go for his 2-month checkup. And the doctor's like, okay, we're gonna change the formula. First, we checked and tested his poop for if there was any milk allergy. He tested negative for that. So I was really happy because I knew deep down there's no allergy. Like he's fine. It's just his system is adjusting. But my husband did not want him having diarrhea every other day. Neither did I, but that was literally the only thing. When I tell you he was sleeping through the night, he was taking great naps, putting himself to sleep. I mean, this kid was like picture perfect. He had his fussiness during the day, but I feel like every baby has that. Compared to Angelina, who never slept, I felt like he was just my little miracle baby. He was great. So, as per the pediatrician, we went on this one, Similac Alimentum. Now this one, so many of my mom friends were like, this was great. It cured my baby with spit up and stuff like that. But I just kept thinking he doesn't have spit up. It's the diarrhea. So he was on this for a total of, I want to say 5 days. Okay. So we were treating him. First of all, the pediatrician felt maybe he just has a protein sensitivity and that's why he's having the runs. Because everything else was fine. It just didn't make sense. Or a very, very, very mild allergy because it just didn't make sense. So we put him on this. By the day 2 on this, he already had poop, like regular poop, no more runs. I'm going to be real TMI with all this, okay? No more runs, no more liquid. So I was like, okay, it's working. But this he would literally, it would spit up, it would pour out of his mouth. And I was giving him the same amount of ounces, everything. He was taking 20 to 24 ounces a day, sometimes 28, but really more like 20 to 24. He was only 2 months old. But it would just pour out of his mouth like, bleh, and he was fine. He wouldn't cry. It was never vomit. It would just like liquid pour out. And the smell of this is so disgusting. Like, this is gonna haunt me. Like, this is just an empty can that I can't write. I'm so excited to toss finally. I just wanted to save it for this video. It smells disgusting. Like, he would spit up, I would change his bed sheets. I basically just would leave him with the bed liner, like, you know, the little sheet protector thing, and then you put the nice sheet over it. I just would leave the sheet protector because I would change it 2 to 3 times a day, change its outfits 2 to 3 times a day. It was insane. Insane. Spit up on a whole nother level. I was like, this is not right. This cannot, his body is literally rejecting it. It's very obvious, right? So by day like 4 or 5, I was like, we're done. I literally remember that morning, I walked in his room, he spit up, and it wasn't even a lot on his sheet, and the whole room smelled like vomit. And I was like, I cannot do this. Angelo couldn't even give him a bottle because that's how bad it smelled. Something about the smell, it just got to us. Okay, I'm done with the smell. Anyways, so by day 4 or 5, I was like, we're done. We're changing. I didn't know what to change to. So I did my research and I found an article that compares the original one he had at the hospital. So it compares these two. And it says how they're very, very similar. So I said, okay, I don't feel so bad changing him formulas only like 4 or 5 days in. We're going with something so similar and he seemed okay with this, like from the hospital. What could go wrong? So this one, bye-bye. Did this one. Still having liquid poop. Still spit up, but not as much as on the Alimentum. So the Pro Total Comfort, it was better. Now the thing with this was that when you mixed it, there was like this froth. It mixed so horribly. This one, I know a lot of moms, they really recommend the ready to feed, which I didn't want to warm up bottles. I didn't want to deal with all that because the ready to feed, you have to open it up. You have to use it within 24 hours. You have to keep it in the fridge. And I've just always done powder. Powder's just been my thing besides the little 2-ounce bottles in the beginning. So I was like, just done. This one, when you mixed it, it was such a thick froth. Like it was like a cappuccino or something like that. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like foam, like all these moms that put all the foam in their coffee. I don't know. I'm not a coffee person like that. And I felt like that was causing him so much gas, so much indigestion, so much bubbles, even though we had the anti-colic nipples for the bottles. Like everything was like just kept going down worse. So I left him on this for a few weeks. We went back to the doctor. No, actually I called her up and I was like, something's got to give. Things are not working out. So sorry, battery died in my camera. So doctor said, basically what this one does is it breaks down the molecules that are, how do you even, I don't even know how to explain it. It breaks down the protein molecules that aid in, it helps in digestion for if they do have a protein sensitivity with milk, like the milk molecules, something, it breaks it down so it's easier to digest, right? So she suggested we go on this one, EleCare. Now, what this one does compared to the Pro and the Alimentum, okay, this one totally is amino-based acid. I believe it does not have any milk, anything. These do have milk. So this one is, yep, and it says it, amino acid based formula, right? So what this one does is this one breaks down the protein sensitive molecules even more, right? So it's just so much easier to digest. So I kept thinking, I don't think it's a protein sensitivity, but that's what we're gonna go with. And hopefully it just cures the diarrhea because that's really all that it was. But now we were dealing with spit up and somewhat better poop on those, but the spit up was just out of control. I was like, there's no way he could be comfortable like this. It's so smelly. It's got to be bothering him and affecting him here. I'd rather him have the runs than be spitting up everything. I just don't feel like that's good for your throat, right? So we went on this. This is so expensive. Okay, first of all, it's so expensive. Thankfully, my girlfriend who lives close by had like 40 something canisters of this from her son. So she was able to give it to me. She literally left it on my doorstep one night. She's like, I don't need it anymore. Here you go. Because we were in the process of getting the prescription, putting it through insurance, getting insurance to take care of it, which thankfully after 2 weeks they decided they are, but we're not on this one anymore. We're not on it. So I have to call them today and cancel the order. Forget that order. I think he's waking up now. Forget that order. So what this one did was he didn't poop for 3 to 4 days now. So it's complete reverse. Now he is spitting up. He was spitting up a decent amount on this and not pooping for 3 to 4 days. This poor guy. It got so bad that by the second week, he was screaming in excruciating pain all day, every day, okay? Curling his body up and throwing himself on his side, and actually learned to roll over from back to tummy because of this formula bothering his stomach so bad, okay? I finally had a smidge of sleep last night because we just switched off of this one. So today is Friday. When did I switch it? Tuesday, I want to say Tuesday night, I think it was. Tuesday night was his last bottle of this, like not even right before bed. I already switched him before bed. But there was those first few nights of him getting this out of his system was so bad. The first night of him back on a different formula, he was curled up all night because it was only one bottle. The second night, he slept on his stomach the entire night. I was freaking out because if you follow along, he's been sleeping in his crib since 8 weeks in his room. It's literally 10 steps from my room. I sometimes now even sleep on the couch because I was in a panic. All I kept thinking of is SIDS, the sudden infant death syndrome, and something's gonna happen to him at night, and he keeps rolling on his stomach, and he's not strong enough. We don't do tummy time because his tummy's been messed up with all this. So I was just freaking out that he's gonna suffocate, something's gonna happen. And anxiety and everything, which I'm not a person like that, but when it comes to your children, oh yeah. I probably slept a total of 10 hours in like the last 3 nights. I'm not even exaggerating. So I kicked it to the curb. And the magical formula that we're on right now is the original one he was on. The freaking original one he was on, okay? Because this is my tried and true. This, I felt like there was really no issue besides the diarrhea. I felt like his body was just getting used to adjusting to the world, adjusting to formula, adjusting to just life outside, right? Because he was only a month old when all this happened. And I felt like everything had to kind of steady out with his digestive system. I had so many people tell me, you have to go to a gastro doctor or whatever it's called. He has reflux, he has this, he has that. My pediatrician never agreed with any of that. I didn't agree with any of that because he always slept through the night. He loved his naps. He's such a happy baby. It's just after bottles, something was not right with the digestion. So we are back to this. Can I tell you how much better he's sleeping again? He's putting himself to bed at night better. He is finally pooping, actually real poop, but we're only on a few days on it, so we'll see what happens. And he is just back to his happy self. He was literally miserable by the second week on the EleCare. He was so miserable that he would just like literally whimper to me and go, and I would say, it's okay, buddy. Like, we're gonna get you feeling better. He would just like, Mom, help. Like, it broke my heart. I was like, so I called our pediatrician, obviously, was giving her updates, everything. She kept telling me, stay on the EleCare, stay on it, stay for at least 2 weeks, just let his system even out. And then the other night, your mother's intuition kicks in, and my husband kept saying, well, it's iron. My mom said something about iron. So I'm gonna show you right now. The amount of iron in this EleCare is 8.4, what is this, grams? So in one bottle, it's 8.4 grams of iron. All of these other formulas, okay, all of them have 1.8. So nearly 7 times, over 6 times the amount of iron is in this from this or those. No wonder he couldn't poop, this poor guy. He was loaded up. His stomach was like killing him so much. So I have zero medical background. I am just a mom of two, okay? I am just a formula feeding mom that is by trial and error and going with my mommy instincts that this is the formula that worked for us. Please, please, please consult with your pediatrician, consult with multiple pediatricians if something's really wrong. Do not go by just my advice, but this is my personal experience with these formulas. We are back on this. We are donating all of this to any mom in need right now. And these are just, no. This one wasn't that bad, but just it did not cure. This one was just, it really wasn't. And like I said, many moms swear by this Alimentum. Just didn't work for us. I hope that this video helped you all. And I will be doing a 4-month update for Dean after his next checkup, because then it'll be at least a few weeks, like another about a little over 2 weeks, 3 weeks of this in his system. So I want to see his weight gain, what he was originally on, this gold one, he was gaining weight. He was doing great. So even with the diarrhea every other day, like he was doing so good. Like he was gaining like a pound a week in the beginning. He was flourishing. Like everything was fine. So we're back to this. So check out, subscribe, like, stick around, because I will be giving a 4-month update to let you know how he's doing and how my sleepless nights, because right now I think he's also going into like the 4-month sleep regression. Angelina did it early too, like around like 3.5 months. And right now he's about 3.5 months. And so he was up screaming a lot last night. And I know now it's not the formula, it's the sleep regression, because he's crying and he's comfortable laying on his back. With that other formula, I couldn't even tell you. He was just cringed in a ball, tight, like even eating, like drinking the bottle. He was like curled up in so much pain. So go with your mommy instincts, do your research. I'm Similac through and through. I sign up for their coupons. I gotta re-sign up my mom for their coupons and pretend she's another mom. That's how you get double coupons. They send you lots of good stuff. This is not sponsored in any way or shape or form. This is actually sponsored by my husband because he pays for all this. But this is what worked for us. If you have any questions, comment down below, message me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram for my journey, and I will see you guys in the next video.